I'm Krupashini, pursuing my MBA in Australian College, Vellore. My topic for the competition is India marching towards cashless economy. I first of all thank my guide, Dr. Balapriya, who was constantly helping me and support me throughout the completion of my presentation. Next, there are two main reasons for me choosing this topic. First, my interest towards finance and economics. Second, post-COVID, I was able to see a self-transformation in me where I started using GPay and other UPI payments instead of cash. So for a single person, such self-transformation was massive. When we take into Indian economy as a whole, so I wanted to think how was it possible for Indian economy or to the whole for marching towards a cashless economy? And the notable point is India is second largely populated country in the world. So with this huge, massive, strong amount of population, how is the country able to transform from a cash economy to a cashless economy? So these were two reasons for me choosing the topic. First, when speaking about Indian economy, there are three main components: saving, investment, and expenditure. All the three components, the single key element for all the three components is income. Without income and earnings, these three is not at all possible. First is savings. Not all people save, but the main habit of Indians is saving. Only that savings help people to survive in COVID times. Next is investment. Investment was a very important key. Not all saving people invest, but some people invest with the amount of savings they have. There is a data which says that after demonetization and COVID, the interest of the people have increased in investing in financial markets. Here, financial markets include stock market, share market, commodity market, and securities market. So some people started investing in all these markets with the increase of the cashless economy. Next is expenditure. The important key, only after expenditure goes out from income, savings will be left. Only then investment will be made. So when seeing the expenditure, people spend a lot now because the circulation is of money is increasing, inflations are increasing, so expenditure is more. One small incident I would like to cite out for explaining about this expenditure, where in earlier days, people, that is before demonetization, people had 500 notes and 1000 notes. When people hesitate to change those 1000 notes because when they change into other denominations, they spend. They have that curiosity not to change it. And now we do not have cash in hands, so all is cash at bank. So when we do transactions, we don't see the amount. We are not handling cash. Whatever amount is need to be paid, we just click the amount, enter the OTP, pay it. So with this point, I cite that expenditure is increasing. Next, speaking about this cashless economy, what is a cashless economy? A cashless economy can be defined as an economy where the circulation of cash is very less, it will be in a decreasing rate, and the other direct modes of payment will be in an increasing rate. So the other mode of payment includes debit cards, credit cards, UPI mobile apps, NEFT, RTGS transactions, IMPS transactions. All these are the other payment modes which defines a cashless economy. Next, highlights of cashless economy in India. After demonetization, the central government is making a huge push for the online card-based transaction in the country to achieve the target of becoming a largely cashless economy. Second, after demonetization, there are many e-payment apps introduced. Some of them include PhonePe, GPay, BharatPay, Amazon Pay, Paytm. All these apps had an increasing growth only after demonetization. Social media websites have also introduced payment system. Amazon came with Amazon Pay, and WhatsApp, they came with WhatsApp Pay. So all these vitally increased the e-payment apps. Next, UPI transaction. The amount for UPI transaction is also increasing with the help of the cashless economy. Next is um, payment types of cashless modes and payment. There are many modes of using a cashless payment. All the payment modes mainly come under these three heads. They are mobile wallets, plastic money, and net banking. So what does a mobile wallet mean? A mobile wallet is what, like, in mobile we use all the bank apps, we have UPI apps, we transact money through these apps. So that is a mobile wallet. Next is plastic money. Plastic money is familiar, where it is debit cards and credit cards. Now banks, they are voluntarily offer debit card and credit card to the customer. They help people learning this usage of debit cards and credit cards. And many shopping websites, they give offers and cashbacks when we use a debit card or a credit card. It depends on the brand, bank, but still plastic money is worthwhile. This is net banking. Net banking is an official method of transacting money cashless. Some of the net banking methods is NEFT, RTGS, and IMPS. NEFT is natural electronic fund transfer. RTGS is real-time gross settlement. IMPS is immediate payment service. Next. Okay. When a single person getting transferred from one type of transaction to the another, there is a massive change. When a huge country, as mentioned, the second largely populated in the world, is going from a cash economy to a cashless economy, what are all the challenges that the government, the society, and the institution, financial institution, will be facing when they are transferring from a cash economy to a cashless economy? First, acceptance infrastructure and digital inclusion. Lack of adequate infrastructure is a major hurdle in setting up a cashless economy. Insufficient banking system, poor digital infrastructure, poor internet connectivity, lack of robust digital payment interface, poor penetration terminals are some of the reasons which is need to be overcome, are the very big challenge for a country transferring into a cashless economy. Next, financial inclusion. For a cashless economy to take off, the primary preconditions to exist is the universal financial inclusion. Every individual must be accessing to a banking facility. So only if the banking facility is provided and banking facilities are there, then the cashless economy idea will be a good possible thing. Next is digital and financial literacy. People not only being literate is important thing, they should have a digital and financial literacy. They should know to handle mobile apps, systems, software, hardware, everything they should be able to handle for a basic cashless transaction. Next is cybersecurity. The very big and major problem which is prevailing for a cashless economy is the cybersecurity. The cybersecurity has to be strengthened. Antivirus, malware, firewall software need to be implemented in a large level to avoid the cybercrime frauds and other happenings which is prevailing in the country. Next, changing the habits and attitudes. Indian economy functions primarily on cash. Due to lack of e-payment modes, penetration of e-payment modes, digital literacy of e-payments, and cashless transaction methods, and thirdly, habit of handling a cash as a convenience is prevailing among the Indian economy, the society of Indians. So all these attitudes and habits should be changed such that this challenges can be overcome by improving the flow of a cashless economy. Next is the urban and a rural divide. While urban centers mostly enjoy high-speed internet connectivity, semi-urban and rural areas are deprived of a stable net connection. Therefore, India should have more than 200 million smartphones. Even though they have all this, they are not able to provide a broadband facility. Whenever we go for a bank, we face issues like their net connectivity problem, server error. So all these when improved, all these challenges when they are improved, they can be transferred to a very good cashless economy. And next, any concept without a SWOT analysis will be incomplete. So first, we'll see the strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats of a country going towards the cashless economy. The special mention is about India. Next is planned strategy. First one is planned strategy. The government didn't initially full-fledged put off to a cashless economy. They first started with issuing of Aadhaar cards. Jantan Mantan scheme said that Aadhaar card is compulsory and mandatory for everything you do. So all citizens, they compulsorily issued Aadhaar card for every Indians. And then the second thing which the government introduced is linking Aadhaar card with mobile number with PAN number. So linking all this, all the transactions which we make through bank, Aadhaar card, PAN card, all came into one thing. Next, bank accounts was made compulsory for all the citizens of India. So opening a bank account was made compulsory. And there were also some schemes regarding the gas connection facilities for people when they open a bank account. So starting with Aadhaar, connecting it with mobile and PAN, and then opening a bank account. Without all these, moving towards cashless will not be possible. So government has taken a planned strategy on going cashless. Next is the financial inclusion. The financial inclusion speaks about the Jantan Mantan scheme as well as the Aadhaar connecting with mobile. And the government is focusing on reaching to all the corners of the country, and each and every citizen is focusing. It is seen with the introduction of the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. This was surprising a huge rise in opening of the bank accounts as mentioned earlier. The people around the country were going towards cashless with the help of opening of the bank accounts. Next, the measures by the government. Measures by the government are both by the government and the e-payment apps. They provide cashbacks, discounts, and many other incentives when the transactions are made through e-payments. So these are the major strengths of India when focusing through the cashless economy. Next is the weakness which is faced by India. First one is cash as a king. The currency circulation in India is a data which is collected is more when the cash circulation in the country and GDP are calculated with ratios. 12% indicate usage of cash transactions, which is really a large number. Cash is one of the biggest dominating factor in Indian economy. Next is electricity. When a country moving towards cashless, 24/7 electricity supply should be there. But many states in India face power shutdowns. They do not have proper power supply. So electricity, when it is not there properly, a cashless transaction would not be possible. Next is illiteracy. Getting a graduation, speaking about education, literate is different, but illiteracy is a major issue. When you're not knowing to handle bank accounts, mobile apps, and when you're not able to handle all these key major components of a cashless transaction, then that is illiteracy. Sadly, many people in India are illiterate. Next, smartphones are still untapped. There are many untapped regions in India. A study says that the states which are backward in using smartphones, they include Bihar, Odisha, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, all these northern states, they still have a problem in using smartphones, and there are still people who prevail in using a basic model button cell phones instead of a smartphone. So these are the major weakness when considering about an economy going cashless. Next, what are all the opportunities for the government when taking people towards cashless? First is curbing the black money. Yes, India, the main increasing threat for Indian people are black money and corruption. So when we all do the transactions through bank accounts, the involve of bank money, black money will be reducing. All the money will come on the account. Next is tax collection, tax avoidance, and tax evasions can be reduced with when all the transactions come in account, the tax evasions and tax avoidance will be reducing in a larger way. Reduction in real estate. The most affected sector with cash transaction is real estate as noted. When going cashless, the entire transaction will be in white and the price value will be reduced because the real estate are inflated when compared to the white amount, and the black amount is inflated. So that transactions of real estate can be reduced. End of corruption. Going cashless will end the system of bribery to a very extent to all levels of bribe. Though bank accounts would be under because the bank accounts would be under a proper check and will make people alert to perform their duties and responsibilities well. Next is saving on huge expenditure. Yes, printing of currency notes is a huge expense for the country. RBI spends a huge amount in printing, circulating, transporting the currency, and all the other issues in printing a currency. So that huge expenditure will be saved when circulation of currency is less. The RBI needs only small amount of currency to be printed out. It will not be a massive change, but still that expenditure can be reduced. High cost of future crimes. With the cashless economy, there will be an indirect and powerful impact on the corrupt practices being carried on by cash. Next, opportunities are over. The important thing which the government has to note is threats. What are the threats for a country like India when they are going cashless? First, one is security. The major big key issue and first thing to be noted is the security. The biggest threat facing going cashless is threat of security transactions, threat of loss of database, threat of money, loss of money in e-wallets, threat of data encryption, threat of malware, virus to software, threat of cybercrimes are the main security issues when taking a country towards a cashless economy. Perception of the consumers. Yes, the perception of people at large scale is cash has become most convenient to them, and thus adopting a digital mode can face resistance from the society. Earning faith and trust. Country like India, which is still in developing phase, faces everyday new ups and downs, and thus earning trust and faith of people in adopting a cashless economy is a very big hurdle and a very big task for a country and the central government to earn the trust and faith among the people. Next, okay, the major thing and important of SWOT analysis is there should be takeaways and key importance to be noted when SWOT analysis are made. First is increase the penetration of internet and banking system. So targeted incentives, these are the key takeaways from SWOT analysis. Targeted incentives will encourage consumers and merchants to consider moving away from cash. This might be achieved by reducing the cost of digital payments, introducing cash handling charges, and the use of the certain thresholds can improve cashless economy. First is the increased penetration of internet and banking system. Approximately
45 to 50% of the Indian population does not have internet access. This is the data currently which is mentioned in 2022 of Times Now. This says that only 45 to 50% of people are using internet. Others, they don't have internet in their mobile phones, which is a very pretty thing to consider when a country going towards a cashless economy. And approximately 20% of the population do not have bank accounts. Though bank accounts are made mandatory, bank accounts are giving schemes, discount schemes and incentives, 20% of population does not have a bank account. So all these, next is establish the right incentive. Targeted incentives will encourage customers and bankers to moving towards a cashless economy. This might be achieved by reducing the cost of digital payments, increasing charges for handling cash. When all these are taken into account, establishing the right incentives and giving the correct reward for using a cashless, then there is possibilities. Strong data security and regulation. The year 2020 saw one of the largest number of data breaches in the world and in India. The total number of brute force attacks against remote desktop protocol jumped from 1 million. So there were large security problems, server issues. So when all these are corrected, the country moving towards a cashless economy will be easy for it. Next, suggestions and references from other countries who started their journey towards cashless economy with India. First one is Sweden. Sweden has the most aggressive policies towards cashless, where it is mandatory for people to use 20% only cash transaction. That means if you're going to spend for 1,000 rupees, only 200 rupees you can make out in cash, another 800 it is mandatory for you to do it through e-payments. So this made Sweden people to revive from the cash economy to a cashless economy. Poland, the public-private foundation in Poland aims to popularize cashless payments in the country. The foundation also offers free point-of-sale terminals, and this has encouraged the Poland people to move cashless. Next is South Korea. South Korea adoption of has an accelerating adoption of online payments and introducing end-of-year tax credits for up to 30% of spending on debit cards. When they spend on debit cards with 30%, they are given incentives and rewards. Australia, the Reserve Bank of Australia has taken action to address the high court of digital payments, keeping interchange fees and putting ceiling on card surcharge of small businesses. So these countries, though they are with less population, they have adopted some strong and strict measures for transferring their country to cashless. So being India being a democratic country with wide diversity, there can be changes made in the policies for taking a country to cashless. Next, finally, the conclusion part. After seeing the challenges, the meaning, the SWOT analysis, is country of India really ready for cashless economy? Of course, it is ready for cashless economy. The government of India is working dedicatedly to push India towards a cashless economy with major initiatives such as demonetization, direct benefit transfer, BIM, and many more. The intent is to streamline the economy and curb corruption. Everything as a coin has two heads. Everything has pros and cons. When all the disadvantages and all the opportunity, all the threats, when they're taken as an opportunity, and when they are going to transfer it with some implementing policies, everything will be possible for a country to make it out. Finally, cashless economy is a very good initiative by the government, and everyone adopting it will be good. Thank you.